All right. Whenever you guys are ready.
The hell did I just hit?
Well, Gerald, I guess I'll start. You guys have been off for, a little more than a week or so. Have you guys had enough healthy players to where you could use that time beneficially, or has everybody just kind of been so waylaid by everything that everybody was pretty much laid up?
Well, it just depends on what your test status was or your exposure status. So what we've been doing, we've had anywhere between 4 to 6 players available to do individuals. We can't do it. We haven't been able to do anything as a group. Today's the first day that everybody clears, not everybody, but the kids that weren't positive but had to be contact traced into isolation. Today's the first day they're back, so that we can work together. Not first day back, but first day we can work together as a group and have some contact. So we'll have today will be the first, if you want to say, practice besides individuals. So yeah.
Right. And I suppose I should have led with this. I assume we wouldn't be sitting here if you guys weren't certain you were playing on Sunday.
I'm not certain of anything.
Obviously,
as of 11/02/28, we're planning that we should have seven, if not more, players available to play. So, and I would assume that I haven't. Somebody else might have. I'm assuming Fresno's in the same boat.
Kind of going off that, Coach, what was your initial reaction when these games started getting postponed? Because I could tell you, for me, it was like, all right, here we go again. How did you deal with it?
I predicted this a long time ago. I'm not going to say that I have. You can ask any one of my staff members or anybody I've talked to. This isn't a surprise to me. I said back in December that, this is going to be an issue that we're going to have to deal with because, if you watch the national and the global trends, I mean, it was just getting back to that situation. Now, fortunately, I guess that I don't know if there's anything fortunate about it. Hopefully our kids at least, not major symptoms. I mean, symptomatic, but right now, knock on wood, we're not sending anybody to the hospital or anything like that. But, I think it was just inevitable that it was going to happen. And I don't know, I think what's the hardest on everybody along that line, following up on that, I think the COVID, the illnesses, the injuries, the things, you can eventually deal with those. It's just like the question, the uncertainty is, I think, what gets to everybody. It's just like, you look at yesterday's schedule in our league, and, Boise's going to play at Nevada. And I mean, Boise's there, everything's ready to go. And hey, guess what? You're not playing. And it's really, really hard. It's hard on the players. It's really, really hard on the players because, that's what they prep for, that's what they're preparing for. And to have that taken away. And then as things go, not to know whether the next one's even going to happen or not. You just keep telling them, yeah, okay, the next one's going to happen. But, it's a tough thing. But, we just have to deal with it. And, hopefully hopefully our wave's done and we can get back to healthy sometime next week or the week after, get everybody back and get some practices in and finish out the season strong.
Is there anything that you guys are changing in terms of, I don't know what things you guys were doing on the road in terms of, masking up when you travel and that sort of thing, or what you guys were doing when you're around each other, but are there any changes that you guys have made in the wake or are going to make in the wake of this rash of positives you had?
That's a great question. And we were we were as masked could be, trying to social distance, but it's just like you said. I mean, first of all, we came home from Christmas and, we had kids able to go different places, even though we had a short break. Don't know, what they were exposed to, or around family members. And then, we head down to DIA, which we know is busy and one of the busiest airports at a busy time. Even though we're masked, you're trying to social distance, but you can't social distance going through security. You can't social distance getting on the train to get to your flight. I mean, our flight to San Diego was 100% full. I mean, and we got our masks on, and then, we had, after the first positive, we went out and got N95 masks, and I mean, it just is what it is. It's just, I think this thing is very, very contagious, and it just, who knows? There's no rhyme or reason. I mean, I've talked to people, not just our team, but, I've talked to people, they're, and I'm one of them, not that I'm positive, but I'm fully vaccinated and boosted. And some of them are in that boat. They're getting tested positive. And then I'm talking to people who don't have nothing and they're good. So it's just it's a crazy thing. But what we'll do going forward is we'll keep following our protocols. We'll stay masked, like today, it'll be our first day as a group, like I said, and we'll go in the film room. Now it's really easy. It's really easy today with film because we'll only have 6 kids in there, so that's easy to be masked and easy to spread out, and then we'll go on the court and, when we're we'll try to stay as separated as we can, and we'll limit our contact time so that if something does happen with those guys, because they will be, 5 of them will be the non-positive kids. So we don't want to start that again, but it's a tough situation, but yet at the same time, you got to prep to play.
When it comes to the basketball end of things, I know earlier in this season, you guys were struggling to score early, but it seems like at least going into the layoff that was becoming less of an issue, that you guys weren't really having trouble getting going. Do you feel like you guys have found an identity offensively?
Well, I thought we were playing really well, down the last several games going into this. I mean, I thought we played. I thought Nebraska was as good a team as we've played in a while. Nebraska was really a good team, playing well. We played well there. Obviously, we played well and scored against North Dakota State. Scored before that. I think we're starting to find offensively what we need to do. We're getting. We put some pressure on some kids to take more shots. We talked about that, get Quinn Weideman taking some more shots and a few others. But, yeah, I thought we were scoring. I mean, I thought we were playing really, really well. I liked our effort at San Diego State, loved our effort at UNLV. I mean, I thought Ola's shot I was right behind it. I thought it was on. And, I fully anticipated us, I thought we could win 2 on the road. And then, we were right there. So, yeah, I think we are who we are. When you talk about that, I don't think we're ever going to be scoring in the 80s, but I think, we're scoring where we need to based upon how we play defense. We're scoring enough points that we can win games. And, I think once again, I'm looking forward to us getting healthy, get everybody back. So I think Allison Ferdig's playing as well as anybody, in the league, in the post. I think several of our kids are. So I'm looking forward to the future. I hope the past is behind us, and I'm looking forward to us getting back, getting healthy, getting some workouts in, and moving forward. And once again, playing our best. Try to get that groove going again and play our best toward the end of the season.
Kind of following up on that, Coach, was it looked like Alba had really come along since the Nebraska game. Like, what was behind her outburst?
I just think that Alba's Alba. I hate to say that. I mean, that's the answer. I mean, Alba has, we've talked about where her shot selection at, what it looks like, what her shot should look like, shot she should pass up, shot she should take more of. And, I think when she's at 100%, she's plugged in. She's as good as anybody at that position, can score at multiple levels. And she was just, unfortunately for her being sick, she was playing as well as anybody. And I think was part of that offensive change, hitting some threes and also being able to put the ball on the floor a little bit.
And then you also brought up Allison Ferdig there. I mean, we talked a little bit about her development the last time I saw you, and you mentioned there was some nerves for her getting started, something like that. I mean, what have you seen through her development through this point in the season?
I think that she's, I think she's, she's almost, I think, league player, or not just the last 8 games or 6 games or something like that. I think she's almost a double person. I think she's at 9 point some rebounds. scoring 11 or 12 points. I don't have the stats in front of us, but I just think she's starting to feel more and more comfortable in her role and understanding that, it was just like at UNLV. She played against one of the best post players that we have in the league, very dynamic in the young kid. And, it takes her, each game out now is a new experience for her with the diversity that we have in our league with the different kinds of post players, from kids that are I'm going to say, bigger, stronger type kids to the athletic, quicker kids. And she's finding out each time how to handle those kids. And, it takes her a little bit to kind of get used to it and get a feel for it. And then when she does, as the game goes on, her size and strength starts to take over sometimes. And she's just like everybody, all of our freshmen. She's finding out how to apply a scout. I mean, that's one of the hardest things I think young kids have to understand is, what the scout says, and then understanding to apply it. And then there's more than one person that you have to apply it to. There's starters and there's backups, and sometimes how we play defense, you might even be on a third or a fourth person. So, but she's I think her development has it's just been huge. I think I just think she's got a bright future, like I said, for the next 3 years. I think as she just, matures and gets a little bit stronger and figures out everything, she's going to be really, really good.
With her, like, what is the thing that makes you say, okay, she's not coming off the bench anymore, she's in the lineup now? I mean, what do you see that makes you make that change that early in the season too?
Scoring. Simple. You guys, we were struggling scoring. I mean, she was coming off the bench. She was one of our most consistent scorers. I mean, she was scoring coming off the bench. And so all of a sudden now, when we put her in and start her, that puts that other team at I'm going to put it, say, in a little bit of a bind to begin with, because now they have to figure out how they're going to guard her. Are they going to single team her and see what she does? Are they going to double team her and see who they're going to leave open? What are they going to do? So, and rebounding and defense. I mean, she's done all three things. I mean, she is somebody who's earned her starting role by, learning, applying, and excelling. And what we say is in competing in practice and taking some other people's minutes. But with that said, what it does is it opens up, or it had opened up. We're going to be limited here for a while, but now all of a sudden, like, our last meeting I talked about, we've actually had now the ability to play Alba at the three some offensively. That's what that does for us. It allows us then offensively to have people like Grace who can play a 3 or a 4 because she can guard a 3. Alba, it gives us a lot of different, could put McKinley at the 2, which we had done a couple of times. So it gives us a lot of diversity on the court offensively because of the motion. We still have to figure out if you can guard those people, which we usually can to do that. But putting her there allows us a lot of diversity offensively.
Thank you, sir.
Well, when it comes to Fresno, I'm sure you've had a lot of opportunity to look at them over the last few days. What catches your eye about Fresno?
You know what? That's a great question. The Twins. I'm just going to say the Twins. That's who they are. I don't know who they're even going to have here. That's a thing. Obviously they've had to postpone their last 2 games. It's like us because of issues. So right now it's, we don't know who they're showing up with. I know the Twins played right before, they went on their postponement. So I'm going to say, you got to take care of the Twins. They're very dynamic players. They can score a multitude of ways. Obviously can shoot the 3, put the ball on the floor. They're very savvy, with the ball. They got good court presence. So, you got to take care of them if you want to have a chance, whether you're full force, partial force, whatever you have, you got to take care of the Twins.
When you just said something very interesting there that I thought that I hadn't considered before, obviously when a team goes on pause, the the thought about preparation is, you know, how do you prepare with who you have available? But the thing you said there that caught my eye was, you know, how do you prepare for somebody else when you don't know who they have available? How have these COVID pauses, you know, changed how you prepare for your opponents?
Well, what we're doing today, obviously, with our first day back, you know, as a group, is what we're planning on is, I guess my whole theory in life is prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And what I mean by that is we're gonna prepare like if they have their normal starting lineup based upon what we have, you know. So we're looking at given who we have, and if they have all of their starters, you know, how are we going to guard, you know, their on ball series? How are we going to guard, you know, how are we going to guard whatever it is we're going to guard? What are we going to do? More importantly, because, you know, traditionally they're about a 50-50 zone man team. So we're going to have to make sure that we spend some time over the next 2 days prepping to attack a zone, because we're going to have some people that are going to have to be in different positions. And, you know, the way we do things, the reads are a little bit different. So, you know, we're going to prep like they have their starters and then go from there.
Mentioning those Cavender twins, Haley Cavender looks like she's made significant improvements. Her rebounding and assist numbers are up. She's shooting the ball better this year. She was already really good. I mean, when you look at that improvement year over year, what can you attribute that to?
I just think that a lot of it, I think, is as players, I think any players, and that goes back to your question, you know, Tracy's question, and whoever asked it about Allison. I just think that the maturity level, you know, helps you, you know, it's really funny. You know, we talk about that, and, you know, I'll actually be on the floor today practicing. So I'm hoping I'm still alive tomorrow. But, you know, you look at somebody like Heather Azell, for instance, on our staff, and, you know, you look and go, you know, we talk about, geez, she wishes she understood the game when she was 20 or 19, like she understood it when she was playing at 28 or 30. And I think that just the maturity level, this natural strength you get, the more you understand the game, you start to see the game. It's really hard to explain. You know, you guys have all been involved in something. The game, the more you play anything or you're involved, the game just slows down for you, and you have a chance. You're now not just, you know, probably I'm just going to, as an example, when you're young, you're just lucky to come off the on ball and make one play. Now, as the game evolves for you, you learn and understand the game. Somebody that like those guys can come off and understand there's 4 options and be able to choose the best of the 4, just, you know, just because it slows down. It's like, you know, I always equate it to standing in and trying to hit somebody's fastball. Obviously, I would never ever be able to swing the bat, but somebody that's used to it and over time, they're going, okay, that's just another play. So I just think it's time, experience, you know, just working on the game and then being able to apply it.
And then just kind of going back to what you're talking about, preparations and through uncertainty, you know, is it something where you find it's hard to get the motivation up because, you know, for the team, because they don't know what they're preparing for?
You know, unfortunately, no. I think, you know, I would say even through these last few days, now I just look back to myself and go, you know, would I have dreaded, you know, 3 or 4 days of just individuals? I mean, literally, you're just, you know, okay, we got you doing this drill by yourself. You're at this basket, you know, and we got a clock running or whatever it may be. As a player, I look back and go, okay, what can we do, or what am I trying to? I would have hated that. But you know, you would have put forth your effort because, you know, you're hoping for the next opportunity. And our kids have, you know, they've worked hard. I'm sure today they'll work hard. It'll be rough. I mean, it's going to be, you know, kind of when I mean rough, probably, you know, just getting their legs back under them, some timing, all that kind of stuff. And, you know, it's going to be mostly half court stuff just to try to get a feel back. But they'll put in everything. They'll give me everything they have, and, you know, with the anticipation of playing on Sunday. And if it doesn't happen, then, you know, there'll be some disappointment, and they'll come back next week and give everything they have to get ready for New Mexico, because that's just who they are. I mean, that's who they are as people, and you know, that's why I'm so happy always to be, you know, with them and around them, because they just that's what they believe in. Great work ethic and great people.
That's all I got for you, Coach.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Thanks.
All right. You guys stay healthy.
You as well, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kevin.